From a viral reality TV knockout that launched memes across the internet,
"'Cause I'll knock your pussy ass out."
Oh! Hey!
Yeah, good night.
to real-life arrests, addiction, and a murder charge no one saw coming.
Yeah, looking like a loser. Yeah, you're right.
I am. That's what happened.
Yeah. Take that dust ass home. Oh, hey, Tiffany, you get up?
Here's the full rise, crash, and chaotic aftermath of Love After Lockup's most infamous cameo, Kurtis King. Love triangles are messy, but what happens when they explode on national TV? One parking lot punch changed everything for Kurtis King. Kurtis King may not have been a main cast member on Love After Lockup, but he certainly made a lasting impression. Introduced during season 6, Kurtis entered the scene as the unexpected love interest of Tiffany Bolton, a returning cast member with her own chaotic storyline. While fans were focused on Tiffany's official partner Kevin Hale, Kurtis exploded into the picture like a wild card nobody saw coming. And in true Love After Lockup fashion, his entrance was loud, messy, and unforgettable.
What's up, Jordy?
Hi.
Are you walking past me?
Kurtis wasn't just some random fling. His history with Tiffany actually dated all the way back to high school. The two shared a long, complicated past, the kind of teenage romance that never really died out. According to Tiffany, Kurtis had always been a part of her life in some way, even during the years she spent going in and out of prison. They had kept in contact, and when she was released to a halfway house, Kurtis saw it as his moment to finally rekindle what they once had.
What is happening?
So this how you do the game, Miss Tiffany? This your boo right here? This your new thing right here, shorty?
But there was one major problem: Kevin Hale. Kevin had already been featured on the show, building up a storyline around his intense, sometimes possessive relationship with Tiffany. He had been waiting months for her release, believing he was the one Tiffany was committed to. So when both men showed up at the same time to pick her up from the halfway house, cameras were rolling, and so were the punches.
'Cause I'll knock your pussy ass out.
Oh! Hey!
Yeah, good night.
The infamous parking lot scene quickly became one of the most talked about moments in Love After Lockup history. On one side stood Kevin, short but confident, all bravado and clenched fists. On the other was Kurtis, taller and clearly not expecting a fight that day. As tensions escalated, the confrontation turned physical in a matter of seconds. Kevin stepped in and, without warning, landed a clean right hook that knocked Kurtis out cold. Yes, out cold.
Lay down. Lay down.
Come pick him up.
Lay down. Lay down. Sit down.
The moment was brutal, dramatic, and instantly viral. Clips of Kurtis collapsing to the pavement circulated all over social media, becoming one of the most rewatched and meme-worthy scenes of the entire series. Fans and even casual viewers who'd never seen an episode were suddenly talking about Love After Lockup. It was raw reality TV gold, the kind of jaw-dropping conflict the show is known for.
No. Hey, stop. Stop.
Y'all get him off the ground.
Hey, back up. Hey.
Stop.
He ain't knocked out. He's acting like he's asleep.
But while Kevin walked away with the punchline, Kurtis walked away with a reputation. Viewers quickly labeled him as impulsive, confrontational, and frankly, a bit unhinged. His aggressive body language, over-the-top energy, and the sheer chaos he brought to that parking lot didn't help his case. He came across as someone who acted on emotion rather than reason, someone who didn't think twice before jumping into the middle of an explosive situation.
Stand up. Got it? Come on, you can do this. Stand up. Over here. Over here.
Still, there was something undeniably sympathetic about Kurtis. He wasn't the villain of the story, just the guy who didn't read the room, or the relationship dynamics before showing up. Some fans even defended him, pointed out that he genuinely cared for Tiffany and had history with her long before Kevin was in the picture. Others saw him as someone who got in over his head, mistaking a high school memory for a second chance at love.
I didn't want to have the extra stress of having to worry about a relationship or where we stood. I really do believe that I need time to get everything in place, like my mind right. And
regardless of where you stand on Team Kevin versus Team Kurtis, there is no denying that Kurtis King added major drama to Love After Lockup Season 6. He might not have been a main cast member, but he stole the spotlight for a few unforgettable minutes, and sometimes that's all it takes to become part of reality TV legend. Reality TV fame fades fast, but criminal records stick around forever. Kurtis King's trouble started long before the cameras rolled. Before Kurtis King made his explosive debut on Love After Lockup, his life had already been marked by a long trail of legal trouble, poor decisions, and personal struggles. His time on the show may have introduced him to a wider audience, but for those who knew him before the cameras rolled, his chaotic behavior didn't come as a surprise. Kurtis' story is one of potential, missteps, and a pattern of consequences that seemed to follow him from his teenage years into adulthood.
And I'm kind of nervous, but I'm more just excited for her, so I feel like I'm getting out today.
Tiffany reached out about 2 weeks ago.
Long before his now infamous knockout in the Love After Lockup parking lot, Kurtis had been navigating the legal system. His record stretches back to 2008, when as a teenager he was arrested for the theft of a firearm. That charge alone set the tone for what would become a long history of run-ins with law enforcement. Over the years, Kurtis repeatedly violated the terms of his community supervision. These violations weren't minor slip-ups, they included driving under the influence, or DUI, public intoxication, and a failure to report to his probation officer. Each infraction added to a growing picture of a man who struggled with structure, accountability, and impulse control.
I'm ready.
She wouldn't go, but be prepared just to walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to see you in any kind of conflict or anything. I don't think Kevin should go and be there.
Due to these issues and likely to address deeper problems tied to substance abuse, Kurtis was eventually placed in a long-term treatment center. The hope was that this intervention could provide him with the support and tools he needed to break the cycle. But recovery isn't a straight line, and for Kurtis, it seems the challenge never fully let up.
Mission accomplished. I got her here with me. So it's pretty obvious that he's just talking because he's embarrassed. So he just was strictly talking at his ass.
These early red flags spilled directly into his time on Love After Lockup. While he wasn't an official cast member, Kurtis's behavior during his brief appearance was a perfect storm of poor judgment and emotional volatility. In the now viral scene outside the halfway house, his provocative attitude lit the match. Rather than attempting to de-escalate tensions with Kevin Hale, who was clearly ready for a fight, Kurtis chose to antagonize him. To many viewers, it was hard to feel sympathy. He came across as reckless, confrontational, and completely unaware of the consequences of his behavior. What could have been a moment of maturity, choosing to walk away, instead became a viral moment of public humiliation. It didn't help that his actions only reinforced the kind of pattern his criminal record had already outlined. And unfortunately, Kurtis's troubles didn't stop after the cameras moved on. In March 2022, just as the knockout episode aired and his name was being widely discussed online, he was arrested again, this time for aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury. While the charge was later reduced to a misdemeanor, the situation still reflected a man spiraling in real time. He served 23 days in jail, a stint that seemed to go unnoticed by the general public, but only added to his growing list of legal woes. After that, things continued to fall apart. Reports surfaced that Kurtis had suffered significant personal losses. One particularly cruel blow came when a roommate allegedly stole from him, leaving him financially stranded. Eventually, he found himself without stable housing, slipping into homelessness. It was a tragic development for someone who, despite his faults, clearly needed support rather than spectacle.
The police eventually were able to catch up with Kurtis. He was arrested and booked into jail on Monday, where he has been ever since. And according to the wife of the victim,
Kurtis King's story isn't just about a viral moment on reality TV. It's about what happens when unresolved issues, legal, emotional, and personal, go unchecked for too long. His brief appearance on Love After Lockup gave the world a glimpse into that chaos, but it was only the surface of a much deeper struggle. Getting knocked out on TV was bad enough, but was the whole thing fake? Kurtis King finally spilled the truth about what really happened behind the scenes. After becoming a viral sensation on Love After Lockup, and not the way he hoped, Kurtis King finally sat down for an unfiltered interview that ripped the curtain off reality TV. What fans saw was a chaotic love triangle, a punch that echoed across the internet, and a man supposedly obsessed with his ex. But Kurtis says that version of him was scripted, sliced, and served to viewers without a shred of truth. According to him, the show twisted everything: his relationship, his personality, and even his most humiliating moments.
I mean, literally one text: "Hey, I'm going on Love After Lockup. Producers want me to know if you'll go on there with me." And I said, "Yeah, send them my info." And that was it. And then it was just a snowball effect after that. But
Kurtis didn't audition. He didn't chase clout or producers. It all started with a random text from Tiffany Bolton, a woman he'd known for more than 15 years. Out of the blue, she asked if he'd appear with her on Love After Lockup. He said yes without much thought, expecting it to be a quick cameo.
Excuse my language. I don't know how
You can say fuck on our podcast.
You could say, oh, please.
This is a safe space. No, but you really do know her from high school?
I do. I've known Tiffany for, it's been 15 years.
But things spiraled fast. Once the producers got involved, they began shaping a narrative that didn't match reality. Kurtis said they immediately tried to frame him as a longtime admirer, someone who had pined for Tiffany since their teenage years. But in real life, that wasn't true. They had a casual off-and-on friends with benefits relationship. No deep love story, no proposal in the works, just two people with history, not romance.
And she was a crush. You were crushing on her. She was cute. I mean, I don't blame you.
But this is going to be raw, like the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything.
The show tried to sell their connection as passionate and romantic, but Kurtis says that was all smoke and mirrors. They were never a couple, and according to him, their relationship lacked any real emotional depth.
Tiffany, at any moment in that 15 years, it was more like I was attracted to her, and we messed around a little bit just whenever.
He claimed Tiffany was dishonest from the start, hiding the fact that she was still using meth. He described her as manipulative and said she played both sides, telling him one thing, then saying the opposite to Kevin Hale. Her behavior, he said, was shady throughout production, and in hindsight, he believed she only brought him on the show to create drama.
When you're in the room with the producers and they're wanting to coach you up and tell you what's best for the show and what's best for the storyline, you kind of just go with it because you think that's what.
Kevin Hale, Tiffany's official love interest, might have seemed like the tough guy, the cool trucker with the Audi, but according to Kurtis, it was all fake. Kurtis alleged that Kevin never visited Tiffany in prison and never even wrote her letters. The emotional backstory presented on the show was fiction created by producers to sell a love triangle.
That they had never visited each other. He slips up in one of his interviews and even says it, like, at first he tells his parents in some scene that
even Kevin's lifestyle was called out. Kurtis claimed that the Audi Kevin flaunted wasn't his, it was a rental. He also said Kevin lived with his mother and wasn't the independent, successful man the show made him out to be. More explosively, Kurtis accused Kevin of being involved in meth dealing and said he knew Tiffany through those drug circles, not any legitimate relationship.
He was ready for that shit. He was so excited. He had his rental car ready to show off. He had just done a scene at his mommy's house and made it seem like it was his house. We know, you can look that shit up online, Kevin.
Oh, that's his mom's house?
Arguably the most talked about moment in Love After Lockup history was the knockout punch Kevin delivered to Kurtis in the parking lot. But Kurtis said the real story behind that punch was very different. He explained that producers intentionally stirred up the tension between them. Right before filming, Kurtis was told to keep his hands behind his back to avoid escalating things. He did what they asked, but Kevin ignored the instructions and sucker punched him while he was defenseless.
Wow,
wow, Kurtis.
After I got sucker punched, they just exposed themselves, and they were like.
After the punch, Kurtis said he was rushed aside, and producers had him sign paperwork agreeing not to press charges. In that moment, he realized that the show didn't care about his safety, They only cared about ratings.
Okay, so it had nothing to do with, I understand.
But didn't they make him sign papers?
Why was the producer leave? I didn't really understand that. The producer was driving away, but why was that?
Kurtis didn't hold back when talking about the editing. He said producers went to extreme lengths to create emotional arcs, even if it meant faking them. According to him, one of the most embarrassing moments, when it sounded like he said, "I love her," was completely fake. He insists he never said it. The audio was spliced and stitched together to create a tearful declaration that never happened.
They got me to say I love her or something like that. I never said that shit. That was just like a voiceover edit. And the way they explained to me in the interview room was that I had to sign a bunch of things saying that.
He revealed that their contracts gave the production team full permission to alter voice recordings, appearances, and scenes. The producers had full creative control to twist reality into whatever they wanted. Once filming ended, life didn't get easier, it got much worse. Kurtis described falling into a deep depression. He lost his apartment, got into a heated dispute with a roommate, and was arrested again.
And it was literally one thing after another started falling apart. Of course, the show was depressing, the aftermath was depressing, and now I'm just sitting in it.
He believes the new charges will be dropped, but the financial fallout was massive. He spent $6,000 on bail and another $8,000 on legal representation. On top of that, he lost about $100,000 in belongings due to theft and repossession. Desperate to rebuild, he started a GoFundMe and shared his story online, hoping people would see him as more than a meme.
Yeah.
I'm working on rebuilding my life. If y'all want to gift to that GoFundMe to tell everybody else to suck my dick, I appreciate that too. Anybody else out there?
I'll put the details in the notes.
I would have never ever asked for anything in my life other than.
Kurtis had little faith in Tiffany's future. He predicted she would violate parole and end up back in prison. He claimed she hasn't changed her ways and that everything viewers saw between her and Kevin was fake, scripted drama. He doesn't believe any part of their relationship was genuine, and in hindsight, he regrets getting involved at all. Kurtis ended the interview with a few parting shots at Kevin. He challenged him to a cage match, mocking his silence after the show aired. "He talks big, but where is he now?" Kurtis asked. Still holding behind that fake image, still renting cars, still living with mommy. It was clear Kurtis still had a grudge, and he wasn't ready to let it go.
Damn!
I mentioned them on the podcast.
Brianna loves the doggies.
I love those dogs.
They're not even his?
Ass dogs. I'm sure Darla loves her fucking dogs. And I'm sure Darla loves
Darla?
When asked if he had any regrets, Kurtis didn't hesitate. "Absolutely," he said. "I felt used. I let people into my life and they turned it into a joke." His biggest warning was to anyone considering reality TV, be prepared to have your life twisted into whatever story they want to tell. They don't care about you, they care about drama. What happened to Kurtis King wasn't just reality TV, it was a brutal wake-up call. And for him, the punch was only the beginning. From viral meme to murder suspect, how did fans react when their reality TV joke became deadly serious? The internet had a lot to say about Kurtis King's darkest chapter. When the news broke that Kurtis King, a former cast member of Love After Lockup, had been arrested for murder, fans online were completely stunned. Social media platforms, especially Reddit, quickly filled with posts and comments reacting to the shocking headline. Some fans were confused, others angry, and most were heartbroken that someone who once brought drama and laughs to reality TV had ended up behind bars for such a serious crime. On Reddit, one thread titled, "Kurtis could never pull it together and was always getting arrested," and then begging for money on social media. Now he's probably going to prison for a long time for allegedly murdering someone over a bicycle, or I heard, quickly blew up. Hundreds of users jumped in to express their disbelief. One commenter wrote, "I really think getting his ass knocked out was the downfall of his life. Before the punch he was happy and excited, he even made her waffles." Another fan added, "I thought, at the time, that although epic, it's wrong to knock his puss ass out. But Kevin had the right idea." Many users remembered Kurtis as the guy who got knocked out in one of the most talked about scenes in Love After Lockup history. Some laughed back then, but now the mood has totally changed. One post summed it up, 30 plus years of reality TV binging over here, and that punch was just as great as anything from the peak trash era. Reddit threads became a mix of shock, sadness, and serious conversation. Some fans looked back at older episodes and noticed red flags. Since the show, my guess is his messed up life was spiraling before the show. Just saying, a viewer posted. Others took the moment to reflect on how much the show had changed. What once felt like a wild but harmless mix of drama and entertainment now seems darker and more troubling. With murder charges entering the picture, many viewers started questioning the kind of people being cast and whether the show is crossing a line just to stay relevant. The reaction wasn't just from fans. One of the most emotional voices came from Shakavian Smith, the wife of the victim. After her husband was killed, she took to Facebook and Instagram, posting photos of him and begging for help. In one heartbreaking post, she said she was trying to raise money to transport his body back to Georgia, where his family lived. She also asked for prayers and justice. Shakavian's words made the crime feel even more real. It wasn't just a mugshot or a headline. A real person had died. A family had lost someone they loved, and now a reality TV face was being held responsible. Adding fuel to the fire was Kevin Hale, another cast member from Love After Lockup. Kevin was the guy who had punched Kurtis in that viral scene. After the arrest, Kevin posted a photo of the news story on his Instagram, saying, "Damn, life comes at you fast." Kevin also shared the story with several blog pages and gossip sites, making sure people saw it. Some fans called him out, saying it looked like he was using someone's tragedy for clout. Others defended him, saying he was just as shocked as everyone else. Either way, his post linked the Love After Lockup storyline straight to the tragedy, reminding people where they had seen Kurtis before. In the comments under Kevin's post, people were divided. Some joked darkly about karma. Others felt the entire situation was too sad to laugh at. One comment said it best: "Who killed a father of 9? First of all, who TF has 9 kids?" For longtime fans of the show, this moment was a turning point. Many said they missed the golden days of Love After Lockup before the headlines turned dark. The show had always featured people with troubled pasts, but no one expected it to go this far. Kurtis King's time on Love After Lockup was short, chaotic, and unforgettable. From viral moments to real-life consequences, his story blurred the line between TV drama and tragedy. If you want more jaw-dropping breakdowns like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the next wild ride.